Hi everybody, it's me, Isis Fernandez at Writing to Insanity. I am so glad you guys liked my graduation speech. I wrote it from the heart and I wish I had a copy of it. I didn't even think about having someone press the record button instead of pressing the take picture button on the camera. That's neither here nor there. I'm sure it's recorded. Someone has it recorded and they will hopefully one day share it with me. And when they do, I will share it with you. Um, One thing about being a newspaper reporter for so many years is that you get to make a great many friends in many different places. And the bad thing about being a newspaper reporter in that aspect is that all your friends are in different states. And most of your friends are poor because you're poor. So, one of the things that I wish I had money to is to charter a plane and take all my friends to graduation with me so they can hear me read. And then I thought, hello, you have a blog and you also have an iPad that has a camera on it. Why don't you just do a reading? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read what I read at school, and then I may do an extra scene in another video later on, just because I can and I can do that now. So I'm gonna read what I read at school during my reading. You have to imagine me all glammed up because I was very glammed up. I'll attach some pictures with this post, but I was very glammed up. Had the earrings and everything. So let me go ahead and start reading. This is from my thesis called After the Smoke. This scene in particular has my protagonist Nena, who is returning from the U.S. back home to Santa Rosa, Guatemala after a curse sent her packing. Her parents sent her packing because of a family curse that came from Cuba. This is her thoughts on her coming back. What you need to know about the scene is that Bruno is the gentleman who is driving her, and he is a soldier. Um, so I'll read this scene, and then I'll read the other scene that I also read during school. So I'm hoping you guys like it. The woods gave way to shacks and humble homes with clotheslines and tattered hammocks. We were close, less than 5 minutes from seeing the entrance to Santa Rosa. My stomach flipped. I wasn't sure what I'd find at home or how close Papa was to death. Knowing him, he'd probably started each day bathing in cigar smoke, a bottle of holy water at his side to clean the doorways when he entered. At the end of each day, a bath of rose petals, honey, and the white of an egg prepared lovingly by Mama to wash away jealousy or evil thoughts that led to an unwanted curse, the evil eye, or just bad luck. He would have done this daily. He would have checked daily, and if he had found something, anything, then he would have dealt with it. Why then did he not see this? Was he outsmarted? We advanced closer to Santa Rosa, while at the same time dread advanced inside my questioning mind. When I thought of death, when it still had mystery for me, after the smoke but before the exile, I anticipated Papa's demise to be the product of my abuelo's curse. Death from cholera or cancer was the best Mama and I had hoped for him. Mama, of course, was protected. Papa made sure her ending would be of old age. Though he could not do the same thing for himself in regards to protection, he could protect the love of his life. The saints did not allow him to use his gift on himself. That was a cardinal sin, a spit in the face to those who anointed the selected few. It was like saying that they were not in control, and that a healer was more powerful than a saint. That was the ultimate sin, and no forgiveness existed. Death was the punishment. Bruno's Jeep made a sharp turn to the left, and the road under us changed from potted cement to stone. How I loved that stone, that beautiful, uneven stone that existed 100 years before me and will be there 100 years after I have died. That stone road like polished skulls. Suddenly, I caught the first glimpse of her, Santa Rosa, the patron saint of the pious and of troubled families. Her pristine statue towered at the opening of town, a welcome sign. Her slender arms raised to the sky as if gathering sunlight and love to share with her residents. Her face, oh, her face, calm strength and stern faith. It reminded me of all that was good, all that was difficult, and that the effort to endure them both was the same. She was my saint, my protector, my insurance policy, my belief that nothing could ever be as bad as it could be or as it should be. When I was born, Papa told me he asked her to be my saint, so that she could guard over me. He did that so I would always gather the strength I needed just by thinking about home. I loved her as one would love a favorite aunt, not quite like a mother, but more than a sister. My dear, pure Tia Rosa. I needed her now more than ever. Left or right? Bruno's gruff voice sounded less annoyed but tired. Left. As the jeep coughed up the hill, my memory took over. At the turquoise building on the right, hammers and nails were sold for this particular neighborhood. The tan building 2 doors down and across the street sold food and refrescos like lemonade and papaya juice. The rose building on top of the hill sold shoes, the nice ones that could only be worn on special occasions like birthday parties, masses, and funerals. The road turned right and rows of tiny houses sandwiched us, so close I can read the times off the clocks. The jeep sped up, sprinting to the finish line, or maybe I was sprinting, thinking what was in store for me when I arrived. Soon, another fork in the road. Before Bruno could ask, I pointed to the right. More businesses, but this time they were from my neighborhood. Doña Concha's electric store next to the furniture store her daughter manages. Then an ice cream shop where Papa used to buy me my favorite flavor, banana. And across the street, the small booths that outline the marketplace. The leather place, the shoe place, the food place. And then the plaza, like a breath of fresh air, in front of me, the same as it always was. Uncle Loco singing his heart out under his tree, the old lady in her hot plate selling french fries because it was American, and what's good for them was good for us. The young lovers on benches, timidly holding hands, but with a watchful eye out for anyone that they knew, the excitement of secret love dancing across their faces. It was all there, just as I had left it when I walked through it many years ago, arm in arm with my parents, thinking nothing, and no one could change this happiness. This was the time before the smoke. This was the purity of my childhood. This was when everything near and dear to me in the world was no more than an arm's length away. See the church? The road next to it. Turn there. Bruno followed the road as it dipped down the side of the hill. Down, 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 zooming past more colorful houses and curious faces. The colors of the houses, bright like the inside of a crayon box, melted into each other. My memory restored the blur to their proper places. Every house, every plant, every dirty concrete slab used as a front porch, every inch of this very road was committed to memory, and that memory was visited so often that if it had been made out of paper, it would have tattered. Home. Home was the language of the heart. The beats were a way to say that word over and over to keep the spirit alive and to keep the blood from going stale. Home. Home was hope when there was little, when you didn't like yourself very much and you had to remember who you were to continue forward. Home was that anchor to remind you of what it all is, what it can be, and what it all is, was, and can be again. Home was worth the fight, the protection from curses, the dodging of evil eyes, the disdain from spiteful people. This was my home, despite the consequences about to rain down upon me. Let the heavens open and flood. The only way I was leaving again was in a coffin. So I'm already at 8 minutes. My reading was 10, I promise. 8 minutes, and I'm thinking that I'm gonna stop it here. We'll stop it here, but I'm gonna do another video to do the rest of the scenes, and I'll just add an extra scene so that way it'll be balanced. So thank you, and if you wish to hear more, check out the next video. Okay, bye.